TV. We have with us part of Chanakya Education Hub, Professor Venkat Ikkurthy. Hi Venkat, how are you?
Hello. How are you?
Good, good. Venkat is a data scientist by profession. So Venkat would be joining us in our conversation about higher education in the United States. We've been hearing a lot of shifts, a lot of policy shifts in the administration in the United States ever since President Trump took over as a president, not so long ago, just a few weeks ago. So we will be talking about the impact of the policies on education, and also as we know, there's a higher volume of Indian students going to United States, picking United States as the destination for higher education. We'll also talk about if that policy has had any impact on the number of students going to US for higher education, be it master's or PhD or even bachelor's degrees. To talk about this, we have Venkat. Hi Venkat, how are you? So let's start with your background first, and then we'll delve into the topics.
Okay. My name is Venkat Ikkurthy, and I'm in US for last 27 years. And before that, in India, I worked as a lecturer and head of department in mathematics and statistics for almost 10 years. So for last this 25, 26 years, most of my work experience as a statistician, data scientist in pharma and biotechnology companies. Of course, a couple of years I am with the financial sector also. And I'm a visiting professor for so many American as well as Indian universities. Because there is a huge gap between industry and education. Our intention is we want to reduce a gap between industry and education. That is the main important concept, even though we are working with this, educational, quality education show, because everybody needs education, but we want to convert that into quality education. And you mentioned about a Trump policies and everything. The lottery system is gone and he wants quality people. That means we need to prove ourselves we are a qualified, we are a quality, we have a skilled person. That is the big challenge, particularly for, at present students right now. Yes,
Right.
you mentioned yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So let's talk about that. What do you teach in schools?
Oh, I am teaching business intelligence and clinical data management and statistical
Right.
programming, that type of areas. That
Okay.
I'm going. Yes.
Right. All right. So you mentioned an interesting topic. You're talking about difference between industry and education, right? So I'm glad you brought this up. I've been thinking about this myself for a long time now. I've been living here in the US over 20 years. So when we talk about industry and education, what do you think is the difference? In India, I'll just give you context. In India, for example, there are degrees, there is the academic background to the students who enroll themselves in schools or colleges or universities. But by the time they graduate, I do not think, personally, there's also a lot of data to back this up. There's a lot, I do not think the academic skills they gain in the college or university is the academic skills again are not being successfully translated into the practical skills when they enter the job market, right? That is my opinion about this. What do you think?
100%, 100%. Because according to NASCAM report, 10 to 12% of students is employable in India. That word itself is employable, because always think about the concept is return of investment. The return of investment is these students, 4 years they are in a college. I mean, engineering colleges, we're talking about Indian context. 4 years they are investing their valuable time. What is their return of investment? I'm not talking about money. I'm talking about investing the most important time. Simply, they are getting a certificate, and that is the another big issue. First of all, because in Indian system, the problem is there is no practicality. First of all, what because curriculum is 20 years back curriculum, they are going to continue. The industry is keep on changing. That is the big challenge, first of all. So all these things, we are going to consider that student in India, particularly in a student, a BTech student has an attitude. Hey, after completion of my BTech, I have options like first I want to go to abroad. Second is I want to get a campus placement. Third one is I want to get a MTech from IITs or NITs, or he wants to become like a entrepreneur. These are all the four. Or even if you want to consider about fifth is government job, for example. These are all the five opportunities for them, for BTech student. First day itself, they need to decide, hey, which one we want to go. Depending upon that, they want to do these things. That is because the goal setting is not there, particularly in Indian students. There is no goal setting. They are thinking about after fourth year or after third year. That is the major problem. Industry is simply looking for quality people. Nowadays, you won't believe it, if the person asking about, hey, what you studied, BSc, can you please write it down? They put it like B full stop and S full stop and C full stop. That is going to become like a Bata shoe company, not Bachelor of Science. The basics, they are very far, first of all. Of course, I'm not talking 100 all the institutes. Yes, student psychology, I'm talking about it. Now our issue here is more like now 350,000 students is coming from India to US. Out of the 350,000, at least 150,000 students from Telugu states comes to US.
Yeah, Venkat, sorry to interrupt you there. I will get to that topic in a second, but let's finish this since you started industry and the study. Let's focus on that. I just have a couple of questions on that. So one is curriculum, right? Like you mentioned, the curriculum is kind of outdated. It needs to be renewed. That's number one. I also think it's the quality of the institutions themselves. The problem is that if there's too many of the same, the quality gets diluted. For example, I'm not very happy about this, but even the IITs, which are supposed to be the most prestigious institutions, now you see IITs cropping up everywhere, right? In olden days, there used to be just probably less than a dozen IITs, but now they're everywhere. So the question I have is, just by setting up physical buildings or physical structures and brand them as IIT would not help. I think the brand value of IIT comes from the quality of the instruction being delivered by quality faculty, right? How can you, just because you set up like 20 more IITs, how can you guarantee that there's proportionate faculty with such quality which is delivering instruction to the students? So I think it's also to do with the quality of institutions. What do you think?
Absolutely, you're right, 100%. Because previously when we are studying 5 or 6 IITs are there, now almost close to more than 50 IITs and something. That's the reason I am telling you, select the right guru first. If you are at right guru, you never did anything wrong. If you are not at right guru, whatever you are doing is wrong. That's the first concept. And the second one is
but who has to give the gurus though? Whose responsibility is it in the society to give those gurus to the students?
That is society responsibility, because for example, the society need to give a good salaries, good infrastructure, good respect. If you go to Netherlands, teacher has more value, even Switzerland also. The type of respect we need to give it. Of course, even I worked as a lecturer for 10 years as head of department, I came here because of so many things, See, that is the reason society need to provide all those things. First step is parents. Parents give a students, hey, this is the institute, this is, because parent is only concerned about, he knows about his son or daughter's skills. Depending upon that, he wants to take a decision first of all. Now, as a curriculum point of view, yes, curriculum is need to be updated first of all. That's more important. And the most important is, when I am a board of studies member for JNTU Kakinada a long time back, I told Vice Chancellor, sir, we don't want to touch the students. We want to teach the faculty, train the faculty, train the teacher first. Because they got their degree in 10, 20 years back. You won't believe it. In Vijayawada, there is a very big college principal came to me when I'm in India. She wants to join her daughter into my classes. After 10 minutes of discussion, we have so many common friends. I asked a simple question. Sir, you mentioned 30 years of experience in teaching experience. My question is, sir, you have 1 year of experience repeated with 30 years, or you have 30 years of experience? Hope you understand my question is, you have 1 year of experience repeated with 30 years, or you have 30 years. 2 minutes he is thinking about it. Venkat, you are right. I have only 1 year of experience and repeated with 30 years. Because every 6 years or 7 years, one topic is going to be added. So 90% of notes is there, something like this. So these are all the things we need to change. That means train the teacher first. Continuously mandatory, we need to train the faculty, train the teachers. Then automatically that will increase. And at the same time, we want to reduce a gap between industry and education. Industry contains some skills. Educationist has some skills. Mingle together. Mingle together means theoretically they are very strong. Practically we are strong. Then automatically that knowledge directly goes to the students. Definitely that is really helpful for to improving the quality of these standards of the education.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought it up. I teach social studies, U.S. history and calculus in public schools in the U.S.
Oh, nice.
We have something called as PD, professional development.
Correct.
I'm also in a branch of the military in the Air Force. So we also have professional development there as well. So if military can have professional development, teachers can have professional development. I'm not sure what's stopping. I'm pretty sure in India there is something to that effect, but I don't think it's at that level. So I don't think the emphasis on PD is at that level. So and they keep coming up with new policies. Like lately they came up with NEP, National Education Policy, right? That's a new policy by the Modi government lately. There's a lot of debate going on I think with the inclusion of the third language, like a 3-language formula. Well, that's a different story. But so although they do that, I don't think they do it with that seriousness. That is an issue, and I'm glad you brought it up. So yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, that is the one thing, if we want to make sure that this is a collective task, faculty need to update their skills. They need to go to the industry to get the more advanced technologies. First of all, that's the one reason. And the second one is student should have a goal. First of all, student must have a goal. Hey, I want to do something. Depending upon that, they want to do this. This is a collective task nowadays. Student, parent,
but Venkat, so that's a big question I have. You brought up a good point, right? But students, again, who will instill that goal-oriented mentality in student, right? Whose job is that?
Whose job is that? Is again, because I worked as a lecturer. I told you 10 years. First class I am going to take it. First class, you won't believe it. First class, I am going to take the first year degree students. I am going to tell only 2 things. First thing is, you need to behave as a student in this campus. That's my first condition. Second condition is, don't ragging with other people. You need to respect with fellow students. These 2 are my basic conditions. Then after some time, I am going to talk to the students. Hey, after completion of a degree, what you are going to do? I am asking about what is your parent? Oh, my parent is a small business person. Some small thing. Oh, that means we are all middle class people. We want to educate after completion of this course. Better you need to do MCA, or better you need to do this much. So many of almost 50 to 60 of my direct students are in US. They are in very good positions because that is just faculty responsibility. As a faculty, my responsibility to this much. As a parent, they are farmers. They don't know all these things. Simply, they don't know all those things. We don't want to complain it. Now, parents have only 10%. Only 10%. Faculty has at least 60 to 70% responsibility to motivate the people towards success.
That is true. Do you think that's just a short question? Do you think that is currently happening in India?
No.
Yeah.
Absolutely no. Because in Indian market is like a commercial. They want to make money. That's all it is. They don't care about student. You won't believe it. How many of students is coming with fake GRE scores? Can you believe it? I have hundreds of people.
Wow,
they did not write their GRE examinations.
Wow.
Because of the values. And I'm very sorry to say this word, values, honesty, ethics is gone.
Yeah.
It's gone. That's leadership. Now the Trump is giving all. Trump did not do anything, frankly speaking. He put all the rules are there. All the rules are there. Just he is to screw a little bit tight. That's all it is. Now how struggle with the students? Okay, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'll let you finish. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah. So that is the reason, we want to educate. Suppose, for example, our kids, small kids, then they are going to see Clifford cartoons movie. In a Clifford cartoon movie, all these things, they know how to walk in the road. Stopboard is there because that's every kid. I'm very positive they are going to watch these cartoon movies in their television because that's the way that type of education is coming up. It's small kids. You see, your kid is going to put any fake experience in their resume? Never. I have two daughters. Never. They don't want to put even single line of the fake experience. Now I am getting resumes with 12 years of experience. 12 years. They don't know what is SQL. What is SDLC?
Right.
How they are going to get the opportunities? This is the burning problem now.
You're true though. It's not just. I personally think Venkat. You can disagree, but I personally think it's not just the education values, but it's also the moral and ethical values which play a role in shaping the entire education system or the whole society in general.
100%. You are right, 100%. Because cinemas, cricket matches, these are all influencing people. I have one correspondent. He has 10 colleges. When movies came, he got an email. Sir, today that movie is got released. I don't want to disclose the movie name. Disclose. Can you please give a holiday vacation for this? Why movie is important or college is important? College is important. We never, of course, we never bunk the college, for going with the movie. Never. Of course, we are going to watch the movies probably after some time. But because of these are all influences. First step is because problem is parents, they never tell their kids their struggles. Every parent has struggled to make money, first of all. They don't want to say, hey, I struggled this much to make the money. Because I don't want him to struggle that much.
Even if they do, sometimes the kids are not that interested in listening to the stories.
That means where the problem is? Problem with our end. Problem with the parents.
Right.
Teachers. That's what I'm telling you. You mentioned, you clearly quoted, it's a total 360 place. How much it is? Then we can discuss those things a little bit later, actually. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
It's a very good, valid point we are discussing now, present education system in India, because that reflects to US. Education in India, they need to change. They need to change means students, they are supposed to explain, supposed to mention that. You won't believe it, Arun, when I am in India, basically I am from Guntur, I am in India, every day 20 to 30 people are visiting me, Venkat, I want to send my daughter into, or I want to send my kid into US. I told very simple, yes, absolutely, wants to go to US is the best decision, no doubt at all. But my question is very simple. If you want to go to abroad, your father or your mother or your banker is giving 40 lakhs, minimum 40 lakhs. How you are going to return that money back to them? How you are going to return? If we have a plan in our mind, oh, this is the way I am going to return that money, then go, no issues. People, they don't have the plans. They don't have the technologies. They don't know how they want to. You won't believe it, like, when people are coming into here, they are talking a lot of nonsense, first of all. So somebody need to train how you are going to behave in the US. How you are going to behave in US. What do's and don'ts. In US,
that's very true though, because I personally I'm not very happy to state this, but the way some of our, not just students, in general the community, people from Indian community, the way they behave at events, right, at some organizational events, at parties, it's not very reflective of the Indian culture or the Indian values. I don't think that is what they would do in India. But I'm not sure why they do such a thing in India when they would not do the same thing in the US, when they would not do the same thing in India. So I'm not sure I'm not sure why they don't feel compelled to respect those guardrails in the US as they would in India. So anyway, getting back to the higher education in the US, I know you were talking about at the beginning of the show as the second point about a lot of Telugu or Indian students coming to the US. So please, I'll let you continue on that. Please go ahead. Did you have any comments on that?
The topic is, of course, this is a Telugu channel, like, a lot of Telugu people are going to watch. We can talk in Telugu also, it's fine. Problem is issues. For example, now almost like a 200, 140,000, 150 students are, Telugu students are in the US now. They are all looking for opportunities. They are looking for first of all, initial OPT or STEM OPT, etc., other thing. Problem is no contract jobs. We know that very less. Contract jobs are very less. So these students, how they are going to survive? How they are going to, the one's first problem is they want to in a safe position, first of all. See, their pay stubs are in Texas. They are staying in New York. That is the first problem. Because their pay stubs is run, that's illegal, just it's illegal, first of all. They are going to run their pay stubs with some ex-company. They are working in malls. Now ICE is targeting Indian restaurants, jewelry shops, malls, these places. Simply they are coming, they are asking their visa status. That's all it is. Even today also, they announced it. Please, illegally don't do this. Please do legally here. Otherwise, you need to go. That's all it is. Very simple logic, they are going to mention it. Students, all the way they are coming from India to here, spend this much of money and work hard to make it. And finally, what they are going to do? They did not get even single point. That's the major problem is. See, now I'm requesting all the students, all parents, think about it first. Get a better
also, I would like to add one more thing. So
Sure.
even when they elect, or I should say select, specific school, they have to pay a lot of attention. Coming to US, that should not be the only goal. Coming to US should be the main goal, not the only goal. Meaning, within US, there are also not so good universities. Not every university is MIT or Harvard or UPenn. So they have to be careful which universities to pick. If your goal is not to study, which should be your goal behind getting a F1 visa and coming to US, if that's not your goal, then just to get into US in the name of some university, some low-ranked or no-ranked university, and start working on part-time jobs and things like that. Part-time jobs in a full-time way, right? So,
Yeah, absolutely right.
Yeah. So I don't think the intentions are right here. I think that also is impacting their education and as a result their future. What do you think about that?
100%, because they are working in a hotel or motel for 10 hours or 12 hours standing job, 12 hours standing job, making something like $8 or whatever amount. How can they are going to concentrate on their studies? Quality education. So I'm clearly mentioning don't do these part-time jobs. That's the reason university within the campus, university restricts 20 hours only. That means 20 hours part-time job, you can do it legally within the campus, you do this.
I guess they're misunderstanding that to be 20 hours per day.
Probably you're right,
It is 20 hours but per day, maybe. That's what I think.
20 hours per week. That means 20 hours per week means probably they have enough time to study and enough time to complete the assignments, all those things. I am very positive, Arun, whether it's a big university or small university, doesn't matter. University topper is going to get a job.
That's true. Sorry, Venkat, I have to cut you short there. I have only 1 minute left. So if you were to, this is a great conversation. I wish we had more time. If you were to summarize, and if you were to give 3 suggestions, right, for education in the US to people coming from India to US, what would your advice or suggestions be?
First suggestion is, why you are coming into US? I want to study. Concentrate on study. That's the first step is. Second, even I am a US citizen. When I am going to India, I need to follow Indian rules. That's the basic thing. If you are coming into US, follow the US rules. Follow the US rules. And the second, third, success and excuses never talk together. If you want to get a success, don't give any excuses. If you are giving excuses, you never get a success. If you are doing your part-time job, never get a success. So don't do any part-time jobs. Of course, 20 hours Okay, I agree, it's fine. But these three basic principles, if you make it 100%, you students, students are going to get a success in this great country. America is
Thank
a
you.
land of opportunities. So most successful country, most secured country. But we want to make this country, make America great again. Same
Thank
concept,
you.
make India great again with Modi. So
Yeah.
you people are working hard, you can make great both India as well as America also.
Thank you, Venkat. Thank you for your time. Thank you, viewers. That is all the time we have for this week. Until next week, until we come up with another topic next week on quality education, keep watching Sakshi TV. Thank you.